In this video, I'm going to share things that I've cut out of my budget which I really don't miss anymore. I wanted to make this video because I know that there are a lot of people out there who are really struggling financially during this period. Maybe you've lost your job, or you've had your hours cut, or perhaps you just feel like maybe you need a few tips on how you can get better with managing your money. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then this video is perfect for you, because I'm going to share 10 things which I've completely cut out of my budget, which I really don't miss anymore. And if you do enjoy videos like this, please remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. I produce 2 new videos every single week about how to make money, how to save money, and how to set yourself up for financial freedom. So the first thing that I cut from my budget, which I really don't miss anymore, is convenience food. Basically, convenience food is the food that I buy because I'm too lazy to cook. This is quick and convenient food, which I don't actually enjoy that much because I'm usually eating it on the go or I'm eating it by myself, so it's not actually a great experience for me. And I'm all for supporting local businesses, including restaurants and cafes. However, when I do go out to those places, I do make sure that I'm intentional with my purchases. So I do end up going out less in the long term, but when I do go out, I usually spend a bit more money and it's a bit more meaningful to me because I'm usually with my friend or my partner, and I really do get to enjoy the meal a lot more. I think that being intentional with my purchases and going to cafes and restaurants when I really want to go there, opposed to just when it's a convenience item and a convenience purchase, I tend to enjoy the meals way more and I get way better value for money out of my purchases. And if I am planning to go out, I make sure that I use apps like Eat Club or The Fork to double check and see if there are any discounts at restaurants or cafes in my local area. And the second thing that I cut out of my budget completely, and I don't miss at all, is buying vegetable stock from the supermarket. This is another little cooking hack which I just love because not only does it save me money, it's good for the environment as well. This is how I never have to buy vegetable stock ever again. So whenever I do cook a meal, I usually have all these vegetable scraps which I used to just chuck away in the bin. But now I put all of these scraps into a Ziploc bag and put them into my freezer. And then after the next meal, I'll have more vegetable scraps to add to the Ziploc bag, and I'll just keep on adding to that bag until it's full. After about a week of doing this, the Ziploc bag is full of vegetable scraps. And what I do is I put all the vegetable scraps into a pot full of water and I boil it for about an hour. And this produces a really great vegetable stock, which is completely free. And it also gives me a couple of weeks worth of vegetable stock. This hack has saved me at least $100 to $200 by not having to go out and buy vegetable stock every week. And it tastes even better than store-bought vegetable stock.
You will have the best bechamel sauce in the world, I promise.
And another thing that I love about it is because I'm not buying vegetable stock from the supermarket anymore, I'm not producing waste every week with buying that vegetable stock because I'm using reusable containers which I store in my freezer or my fridge. I personally don't eat meat, but if you do eat meat, you could do this with beef bones or chicken bones or any kind of bones or scraps that you have lying around your house. All you'll need is a Ziploc bag and a freezer so that you can store these things up to 3 months. So I really do recommend trying this one out at home. And if you guys do end up trying this food hack, which I really recommend that you do, send me a DM on Instagram with a photo of your vegetable stock, chicken stock, or beef stock. I would love to see you guys trying this hack. And the third thing, which I used to buy but I completely cut out of my budget and I don't actually miss anymore, is buying really small quantities of things that I use all the time. Remember a couple of months ago when people were running wild and buying out all of the toilet paper everywhere? I was sorted because I actually stock up on things like toilet paper and toothpaste in advance when those things do go on sale. Let me know in the comments if you remember this time. Did you see any crazy people going wild for toilet paper and fighting over it in the aisle? I read every single one of your comments and I would love to see. So whenever toilet paper, dishwashing tablets and toothpaste goes on sale, and I'm talking like 40 to 50% off, I just buy heaps of it because these are things that I'm going to be buying anyway, so I might as well have heaps of it so that I can get a cheaper price per item. This saves me heaps of money in the long term on essential purchases. Just for the dishwashing tablets alone, I bought this massive box of dishwashing tablets for over 50% off, and just buying this packet alone saved me $50 in the long term. It's like when you're buying a stock in the stock market and the price goes down heaps and you think that it's a really good deal, but then there's still that part of you that's a bit uncertain about whether the price will actually rise in the future or whether it will continue to drop. Well, this is even better than that, because when you do see a discount on things like toothpaste, dishwashing tablets, or toilet paper, you know that those prices pretty much stay exactly the same or actually increase a bit over time. So when you are buying in bulk, it's almost like making an investment in the future. So the fourth thing, which I used to spend heaps of money on that I've cut out of my budget, is flights. And the reason why I've cut it out of my budget is because of the virus. I'm just kidding. Actually, the reason I have cut this out of my budget is because I have this little hack which allows me to get way cheaper flights with points. I do still love traveling, and I love going to new places and seeing the similarities and differences between this new place and my home. And I just love seeing how people live in different countries. So whenever I had a new trip planned, I would hop onto Skyscanner and search for the cheapest, nastiest flight I could find to that destination. And because I'm in Australia, it takes at least 8 hours to go just about anywhere in the world. So I would book the cheapest, most budget flights and think that I was saving money. But I was actually wrong, because I discovered a way that I could get even better flights for even cheaper prices. And since finding out about this hack, I've been able to save hundreds and thousands of dollars in travel every year, and still be able to travel as much as I do with really good airlines like Qantas and Singapore Airlines. So basically what I do is I sign up for a rewards credit card, and then I ensure that I'm spending the minimum amount in order to get the bonus points on the credit card. Once I have the bonus points, I pretty much spend money on that card for about a year until I cancel my card so that I don't get that recurring yearly fee. This is usually $400, but it's redeemable in travel credit. And there also are some credit cards which have the first year for free, so you can check them out on this website over here. And I also do follow a few golden rules when it comes to using credit cards, and that is, I pay off my balance every month in full, I don't spend money that I don't have on my credit card, and I cancel after 12 months so that I don't get that fee again. By booking my flights with points, I save hundreds and thousands of dollars on my flights every year, because I only pay for the taxes for those flights. And this means that I'm saving so much money in the long term because I travel so much. Well, not right now because, well, it's kind of obvious, but I do hope to travel a lot more in the future when this is all over. So the fifth thing that I cut out of my budget, which I don't really miss at all, is buying bougie branded grocery items all the time. So when I first started getting into home cooking, I used to buy only bougie branded goods because I thought that it would make my meals taste even better. I mean, I'm saving money because I'm not going to eat takeout, right? So I deserve these fancy Italian vine-ripened tomatoes instead of boring home-branded tin tomatoes. But honestly, over the past couple of years, I found that branded and home-branded goods don't really make a huge difference to the overall quality of your food. And it really doesn't justify paying double the amount for the same thing. So now, especially for some purchases where you really can't tell the difference in quality between the branded goods and the non-branded goods, I'll always look at the cheapest price per unit and get that one. It only seems like a really small difference when you're buying individual goods, but it really does add up over the long term, especially if you're buying branded goods all the time for your grocery purchases. You could be spending up to twice as much for your groceries if you do buy all branded goods. And the sixth thing that I cut out of my budget completely is paying top price for electricity all the time. I used to pay a flat rate per hour for my electricity until I realized you could get this plan with peak hour times and off-peak hour times. And the off-peak hour times would be in times where you're not really using that much electricity, but the price is actually cheaper. So now I make sure that I only cook my dinner at 2 a.m. every night. I'm just joking. What I actually do is I schedule my dishwasher and my washing machine to run during the night. So then I'm paying only the off-peak hour times for those things that I can schedule. And let me know in the comments, do you have any tips on how you can save money with electricity? I read every single one of your comments and I would love to know. So scheduling my dishwasher and my washing machine to run during the evenings during the off-peak hour times saves me about 25% off my electricity. So it could be really worth doing if that's something that you're interested in. And even more if you have a family or you live with a lot of people. And the seventh thing, which I really don't miss anymore, is buying phones on phone plans. I used to buy phones on phone plans until I realized at the end of the day, it costed a lot more money. So let's just say, for example, you're planning on getting the latest iPhone and it costs about 2,000 Australian dollars in order to buy it. If you choose to get it on a phone plan, you're basically locked into that provider for at least 12 to 24 months. So if there is a new provider which comes out into the market and offers even cheaper discounts on their plans, you won't be able to take advantage of these competitive offers. For example, recently this year I found this really cheap phone plan from a company called Circles.Life, which is a brand new company that's never come into the Australian market before. As a result, they were offering heaps of discounts to new buyers and new customers in the Australian market, so I was able to capitalize on those really good discounts, and I ended up getting 3 months for free on my phone plan and an extra $10 off per month. All in all, I ended up saving about $18 per month on my phone plan, plus I got 3 months for free. So when you do buy a phone on a phone plan, you won't be able to take advantage of these really great competitive offers that come into the space. And the eighth thing that I used to buy all the time are random spur of the moment purchases in clothes, skincare, and makeup. I used to browse the shops all the time to look for things to buy which would make me feel better. And I think that when you are walking around in shops, they kind of do have a way of making you feel a bit bad about yourself. They put a bunch of mirrors everywhere, right next to photos of beautiful models with flawless skin and perfect bodies, and there you are looking in the mirror, passing some clothes and some skincare, feeling kind of vulnerable, like you need to buy something to make yourself better. I still do buy these things, of course, but when I do buy these things like clothes, skincare, and makeup, I am more intentional with my purchases. Instead of just going into these shops to just buy a whole lot of things that I don't need and won't actually use, I'll only buy things when I actually need to replace something, or to buy something that I actually really want and will actually use a lot in the future. And just to make sure that I actually do want these things that I'm thinking of buying, I do sit on my purchases for a long time. So I'll wait more than a week just thinking about whether or not I should buy this thing. And I also do have this really good hack. So what I usually do is I go onto Oz Bargain and I search for something that I'm looking to buy. And especially if it is a high ticket item, I'll put in that item and then put in an alert so that I can receive email notifications when that item goes on sale. I recently did this with the Dyson hair wrap. I waited at least 6 months until it finally went on sale for about 20% off, and I ended up saving $160 on that purchase because it was on sale. So these are just some things that you can try in your life to make sure that the purchases you're making are actually intentional and you will actually use your purchases. And definitely try out the Oz Bargain hack so you can find the best price on something that is a little bit more expensive. So the ninth thing that I cut out of my budget, which I don't really miss anymore, is buying tiny bottles of oil. So when I first moved out of home and I started spending money on groceries, I would spend so much money buying these really tiny bottles of cooking oil every month. Every month I would run out of cooking oil because I cook every night, and it was just one of those never-ending cycles. until I thought of this great money-saving hack. One day I was in a restaurant and I saw the chefs using this little mustard bottle with cooking oil in there in order to make their food, and it gave me this great idea. Why don't I do the same thing? So what I do now is I buy these really massive tubs of oil, which are about 4 liters, but this is really good, like bougie quality olive oil, which is really good for cooking. And what I'll do is I'll decant this oil into a little mustard container and use that for cooking. And because of this hack, I can get really good quality olive oil for about half the price. The great thing about this hack is 1, I'm saving money, 2, I get even better quality olive oil, and 3, I'm not producing as much waste as I would if I was buying really small bottles of oil, because I am reusing the same container every time. And the 10th thing is buying brand new furniture all the time. I used to buy new furniture all the time without even looking at Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace to see if they would have the same item for cheaper. By buying used furniture on these sites, I ended up saving hundreds of dollars on things that I was going to buy new. Pretty much all of the items of furniture I've bought on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace have been at least 50% of the retail price or more. And the furniture is still in really good condition. For example, I bought this TV unit for $90 on Gumtree, but the same TV unit is advertised for $269 on Fantastic Furniture. So I saved about 75% off this purchase. There are some things which I wouldn't really buy used though, but that is a personal preference. So for example, mattresses or couches. But I do recommend always checking out Facebook Marketplace or Gumtree if you're looking to buy some furniture. You can often find the same piece of furniture in really good condition for about 50% off the retail price. So these are the 10 things which I've cut from my budget, which I don't miss at all. And I think that the key takeaways from all of these tips is sometimes it really does pay to spend a little bit more money upfront to buy in bulk rather than spending a lot more money in the long term buying small quantities of goods. Not only will this save you money in the long term, but it will also help you produce less waste in the future. Something that I haven't spoken about in this video, but I think is a really great hack on saving water is whenever I do have a shower, you know how it takes a bit of time for the water to heat up? What I do is I put a watering can underneath the shower so it can collect at least 2 to 3 liters of water. And then I use that watering can to water all of the plants around my house. I find that this is a really great way to not only save a bit of money, but also save water, which is our most valuable asset that we have. So if there are any tips that you use to save money and also save the environment as well, I would love to know your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments. I read every single one of your comments and I would love to know. And if you do enjoy videos like this, please remember to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. I produce 2 new videos every single week about how to save money, how to make money, and how to set yourself up for financial freedom. See ya!